rather than have us put restrictions in there that enforce that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my thinking anyway.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
certainly not for MVP. Even if we propose to do that, we wouldn't want it for MVP because that puts us further away from MVP.
No, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I think your ERD pretty much look good. I think I went through it. I mean, actually, you keeping it. You. Before I looked at it, I kind of like had some few think maybe we might change it, but then I went over it. I reviewed again and again. I think pretty much you got it right. I mean,
Well, your PR brought forward a couple of things that needed to be changed. I think an error was in the ERD as well. So I updated to reflect the concepts in your PR. Hopefully, we're good then on that. We're hopefully in sync.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's useful to keep the ERD up to date, even further than I anticipated. I thought we'd abandon it by now, but it's
yeah,
actually useful to have it because it's a complicated structure that we've got in some areas.
yeah. Actually, it's really helpful. I mean, sometimes when I see, I mean, you know, when it's different than from our codes, and then I was like, what's going on here? I usually check, compare with the ERD and then the our apps, inside the model. I'll make
Yeah,
sure it matches. So
yeah,
far, yeah, I did. I went through it. It's no good, I think. Uh, okay, then I thought we need to change the what do you call it for job developer. Then for now, I think we don't need it. So it's good. That's it. And what else do I have? Let's see if I put a note. Uh,
Can you guys hear me?
oh yes,
yep.
yeah,
Oh, nice. Because I was not sure about that. If we want to follow the primary job developer for it, we already have a table that connects agency with company, and we can just add their a reference to our company person, to an agency person. My only issue here is that, for example, if you job developer create a job for a company, there will not be a company person which will be responsible for the job itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only issue here. Eventually, we might want to assign as well the person that is responsible for it. So
That's a good point.
that's the
Maybe
only issue here.
maybe a job developer, if he creates a job for a company, has to assign a on behalf of field.
Mhm.
So I'm creating this on behalf of this company contact, or maybe it defaults to being assigned to the company admin as responsible for that job, and that person can reassign it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need a company contact associated with the job, though.
So that's the only thing. I believe this is easier done in the form of the job. And if you're a company person, you don't need to select anything. If you're not a company person, then you should have a drop down where you'll select at least a company.
Yeah,
Uh,
Salim was talking about that earlier. Yep. And if you're a job developer and you select a company, we assign the company, the person responsible for the job to the company admin or one of the company admins, if there's more than one.
I'm not sure what impacts will that have on the current structure, because I believe they're passing the company always for the creation of the job, and that need to be reviewed.
I think Salim's going to need a form
Oh,
where he
okay.
selects a company before he goes to the form that creates a job so that he knows what company to put in the hidden field. Sorry, Salim.
I think that's a two-step that we don't need. I think that should be inside the form of the job. That was what I was saying before.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
I think a two-step thing. When you press a button, if you have let's imagine a middle page, just select the company here. doesn't look like very user friendly, because you select the company and then you'll go to that company to you'll have to a form that has the company name there again. So I don't know.
So, Joe, can you say? Can you repeat again? You lost me. I know you say something really important, but then you lost me. Can you say the last point, please? Yeah,
So
repeat it again.
what you intended to do is you press a button, right?
Okay.
And then you
Yeah.
go to a intermediary form.
Yeah.
That say, okay, which company do you want to create a job at? And then you'll press select the company. You press a button. You go to the next form that tells you, okay, so now put here your job description. This is
Okay.
what you were thinking.
Okay. For the job developer, that's for if it's not a company person.
Okay, what I was saying is that I don't like it. I think that we can accommodate that in the view, and if on the form,
Yeah.
on the form where you create a job, if you're a company person, you just add the hidden field there, and everything should be okay.
Yes.
If you do not add the hidden field, if you are not a company person, if you're a job developer, then you should show up a select with all the companies, and it's, I think, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We skip this middle step.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we really need that.
No. Are you okay? If you are developer, if you are a job developer, so the select field maybe you'll see it, but then when you're a company person, the select the one where you select the company, you won't see it. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
yes.
If you want to keep the form with everything, you can just, instead of having a select, you'll have just the name of the company.
Right.
If
Right.
you want to keep the field in the form.
Exactly. So which one do you guys prefer? I mean, just show the select, select form, or hide for the company person, and then whenever it's job developer, I can show, the company. Which one you guys prefer? I can't go with either.
I'm okay. I think Hewitt prefers one form and shows the company select or not based upon who's editing, and that seems clean to me too. So
I think it's up to you, Salim. I think your question was about where to display the select or not, right?
Yes.
Just if you see that it makes the form more confusing, the missing one field and then showing up the field. If you're a case manager, if you're a job developer, it shows a field. If you're not a job developer, it doesn't show up a field.
Yeah.
If you think it makes the form more confused or get more confusing, just keep there, instead of a select, you'll get the name of the company instead of the select. If you're a company person, if you're not a company person, instead of the name, we'll just put a select there.
Okay. All right.
The form will stay with the same format for both of the views, and that might save us some problems.
All right. Sure. That makes sense. All right. Okay. That was my confusion. Okay. That's now it's good. Other than that, I think that's it. I guess.
cool.
And what else? Oh, hold on. I have a quick question for you guys. For MVP, so we have to have somehow, the homepage, the actual homepage. So we have it. Is it a priority thing, or we don't need it for now?
What you say? Like
For the homepage. For the homepage. Right now, we don't have the homepage. The homepage is just a list of jobs, right?
Yeah.
So for
I don't know, because the thing is, currently, I think we're still not looking at that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We decided to put that off for this sprint, Salim. But
Okay.
You're absolutely right. That homepage has to be meaningful to Chet for MVP. What we have now doesn't work very well. So we've got
Yeah.
probably next sprint, we'll have to add something to at least flesh that out a little bit. Chet's view of that.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind working on this sprint if we got some big stuff in this sprint.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was another thing that I was seeing. We currently don't have many stories that we can work on because they are all like, for example, I am looking. We can do these cucumber scenarios, but then the dry of the forms. I don't know.
Password stuff. Yeah.
That's something that I think we can do, but the other one is like add task board to agency person homepage. This one cannot be done until we have the agency person done. Have you started working on upload resume?
No, but I was going to say I didn't even take ownership of it, right?
Yeah, no. I thought you were already started working on it.
No,
Okay.
but I'll go ahead and take. I was thinking of taking owner of that anyway. So that'll be my next.
Then we have a case manager homepage that we cannot do until we have the job seeker homepage, job developer homepage. Then we have a 231 that is a list of job seekers related with case manager. Eventually we can do that, but we cannot associate it with the homepage because the homepage is not built yet. And then we have a list of job seekers not assigned to a case manager. That's the same thing as the previous one. So
we are running out of things. I do think we need some clarification from Amy. Is the job developer and the case manager homepage are one and the same? I don't know if she's actually building an agency person homepage now. I just want to understand that. And those other things you mentioned, a couple of those are just scopes that would be invoked in that homepage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing what all those stores mean at this point.
They're not only scopes because we need to show some sort of information there. We need to have maybe we'll have to create some partials for this to display this information. It might be the same partial, it might not be, I don't know, but we need to create the stories for this.
Yeah.
Create the stories, we need to develop these. But for that we need a place to put them, and if we don't have a case manager homepage, we cannot do that. If we don't have a job developer homepage, we cannot do anything about case manager. So it's tricky. That's why yesterday I was talking to you and asked you what can I do, because currently there's nothing really to
Why can't you add the tasks to the agency person page?
Because there's no agency person page.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking, though, the way you've got index working, that would be a useful thing to add to the agency admin dashboard. Especially the one that shows all tasks, regardless of whether it's assigned to that person or not. Anyway.
We currently don't. We currently have. We don't have a view for a view. We don't have a, let's call it a scope for that. We just have a scope that is a generic, that is mine open, that is all the tasks that are open, that are not done, and that are assigned to me or can be assigned to me.
Oh, I see. So that's what index shows?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it might be worth coming up with a view that we could slap on the agency admin dashboard that shows all outstanding tasks, regardless of who they might belong to, whether they've been assigned to anybody, what the audience might be. It's not critical, but it'd be nice to have, get a full view of what's going on there in the agency.
But the thing is, do you really need that on the admin? Because oh, okay, so to have everything in the admin, yeah.
Just to, yeah. I don't necessarily think it's even an MVP thing, but I think it'd be a very nice thing to have. As things heat up and things get busy in an agency, you got to have a top-level view of everything going on with tasks somewhere.
Yeah, maybe you need to create a tasks thing in the menu of the admin. Maybe it's
could be.
Put that.
Maybe it deserves its own page. Yep.
the problem here is that what's the problem here? The problem here is the oh yeah, we might want to have this separated because, for example, we might want to show more information, more tasks. The thing is, currently I'm looking at the page at this moment, and the page looks very cluttered. So, you know, so
Which page?
any page that has currently this one that has okay, this one doesn't have tasks, but the tables are very big. Just check it out. Yeah, for example, the admin page, you see, it's very at this point with 4 tables, just 4 tables there. It's quite big.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't add it to that page. Well, there's 2 admin pages at this point.
And currently we are talking, like, for example, the job developer page and case manager. Those pages will be very big, and I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not.
Well, I think if they get too big, we got to break it up into multiple pages.
Yeah. So you see, currently we have this that's quite big, and we only have like 10 lines per table. So
Yeah, they at least we definitely break it up as needed.
yeah, for example, this one on the company homepage. The company homepage, when we have the tasks here, we'll have 3 tables, and currently with just 10 here, it just gets like this. So I'm not quite sure, but yeah. Okay. Eventually we can and
How come there's not a home menu item in the nav bar? Is that a separate story?
I have no clue. I was looking into that now to see where we have the nav bar, to see if we have anything that, like, a NIF there, or if that is still not there, or if it's only there for the job seeker.
I know there's something for the job seeker. The job seeker homepage. That's got to be collapsed to Helm at some point, but
Menu.
probably in the layout or something. We've got that.
It's an agency admin. Yeah, it has a NIF here. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have it here. It doesn't make sense to be called job seeker homepage.
No, not at all.
This will be moved. So it's going to be moved to the left side.
Maybe tonight at Scrum or after Scrum, we should try to vote on a few more stories, consistent with your point there.
We need to I need to look into it, because the problem here there's nice. Yeah, okay, so now we have it here.
Can I nitpick here a little bit? Your
Yeah.
column name, entities associated, I think that would read better as associated entities.
I'm okay with that. That's the view, the task view, so we can just change that, and it will change in all the views of the tasks, where we show the tasks. So were you able to look into the MVP? Because there's a lot of stories there. There's a lot of business stories that do not have a story in Waffle, and we might need to create them as well.
So I did note a few things I wanted to change, and I didn't get a chance to get back to that since you gave me access to actually edit it. But I'll do that. And then what? I also want to go back and compare against our MVP list in Agile Ventures, and make sure we've captured everything in your role-based breakdown. But I'll do that this afternoon before the Scrum then.
Okay. Because there are very big tasks, but at this point, for example, Salim, can we apply to a job with the code that we currently have in development? Salim?
Yeah. Say that again. Sorry.
With the code that we currently have in development, can we apply to a job?
Job? Yes. What do you mean? No. What do you mean? Like a job seeker can apply for a job?
No, a job seeker can apply for a job.
No.
No, I'm not saying that the apply is implemented, because I know it's not.
Yeah.
But do we have everything from jobs just to, like, I'm a job seeker, I want to create the story to apply to a job?
Yes. For that, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because my major concern here, and I am looking into the MVP list, and the majority of the things are related with application. When you apply to something, something should happen, or whatever. And the majority of the stories are something like that. So we need to, I think that's the next task that we need to be able to complete.
Okay.
I was thinking about that, because right now our concept of jobs includes a job being associated with a job category, and a job category having specific skills required for jobs within that category, and a job itself having a link to those skills indicating level of expertise, how many years of experience, that kind of thing. You know those tables at the bottom of the ERD thing? Job categories, job skills, job category skills, and skills. There's a lot of complexity there. We've only got the jobs entities really fleshed out at this point. The other four and the association between them are not built yet.
You're right. That's why I'm doing it one by one. If I would have done it all together, it would be like it would be like a mess. So you're right. So after I've done this relatively to one you were just talking about, it's relatively simple. But then when you get to the skills level and nice to have whatever you have it those one will be like a kind of like a complicated. So hopefully once I have finished this one, I'll work on that. Let's see, for example.
And I think you have a task next at job category association.
Let's see, MetPlus
So
job.
we'll have that, and then we just need to work. When you finish the stories that we currently have here, you will be missing the skills.
Okay.
Can we here, let me just share my screen real quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So we have jobs.
Yeah.
And then the idea, of course, is that a job is associated with a category. But a category has defined specific skills. So this is foundational to get a job category. Categories in that job have specific skills. And those two things have to be built and associated with each other for a job a job is created, it's associated with categories, and then up pops a list of skills that job category has associated with it, and those skills are selected by the person defining the job. And for each skill that's selected, they also fill out, okay, whether it's required or it's a nice to have, maximum or minimum number of years of experience in that particular skill. So this whole chain here kind of has to be built before we can finalize job creation. I've been looking at this off and on, thinking if we can simplify this so we don't have to build all of this for MVP. And I'm not coming up with any clean solution that makes any sense at this point. This design makes a lot of sense. The question is, can we have a design that's less complex than this that actually also makes sense, that can grow into the bigger design? I don't know. You know, Salim, as you think about it, you come up with ideas on, can we get away with something simpler than these 5 entities all here associated with each other required to be built? That would be a worthwhile discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it my side or there's a lot of echoes?
Let me see.
I'm not sure. Okay, there you go. Now it's quiet.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. See, you're right. Yeah. So what you're saying is, I mean, from if I'm getting you right, so you're saying we have the job category, and then the job category is tied to job category skills, and then goes, you know, there's a chain, right? So
yeah, before a job can be created, presumably there's job categories defined.
Right.
There are skills defined, and then one has to go in somewhere in an admin screen and associate this particular job category has these 3 skills. Or this particular one has these 7 skills. So these 3 tables are built and populated. And then when you create a job, you say this job is associated with category A. Because you've selected category A, you can select from the skills associated with category A here. And you can drag them over and say, yeah, this particular skill I need for this particular job, and it's a required skill or a nice to have. I need 8 years of experience or more for that skill, you know, that kind of thing. So these 3 entities here have to be built before you can actually finalize creation of a job. And then when you create the job, you associate with the category, and that pulls in skills that you then populate your job skills required for this particular job with. So it's a rather complex structure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have a way to go without that all to MVP. What I think we can do, we can split this into 2 parts. A part where we associate the job with a category, and that's it. And then we can build the skills part on next, so we have it in 2 steps. That's the only way I can see it working, unless we don't want to we just don't want to say, okay, we will not have job skills connection.
Well, that's what Salim's been doing. He's been building it piece by piece. And I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead, Patrick.
I was just going to finish up. I was just after you've done with this association here.
Yeah.
This one right here. To go to the next level, I guess I'm going to have to build this one, job category to skills. I don't have that now. I've got this as a discrete thing. I've got this as a discrete thing. Excuse me, this. I've got categories and I've got skills. I haven't built the ability to associate skills with a particular category in the admin screen. So and I don't think we even have a story for that yet. So that's a good story we need to add. I'll go ahead and put that in.
Right. So you got done. You did the job category. That's done. And then how about the job category skills?
No, I've got job category. You're right. Job categories is built.
Yeah.
Skills is built. Maintaining them. But I don't have an ability to go in and say this particular category is associated with these 5 skills. That's this join table would be populated when we build that.
Okay.
So that's kind of the next step for me anyway. If I'm going to build the admin side of this.
that mean is it? Are you blocked by the job?
No, no, I'm not blocked by anything.
Okay.
I've got to stay ahead of you is my point.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
You're catching up.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so I think we have like two areas where you can start working. We can create stories. We can create a story for this on the administration side. We can create a next story for the job creation, that is to be able to associate a skill with the job. And I think we can. My only issue here is that we'll be changing the same files, but I think we can do an apply for a specific job as well. What do you guys think?
So I just want to clarify when you say apply for the specific job, what do you need? I mean,
I need a button.
okay.
That we need to think. Okay, we need to think this through. But basically, you need a button that will open a screen.
Yeah.
That will tell you, okay, this is the resume that I want to work, I want to use, and eventually we still need to define that here. We don't have anything in the ERD about the application.
Okay.
So there's that's another task that we need to do.
About the what? You don't have anything about what?
Job seeker applies to a job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We don't even have the resume model in here yet. For that matter.
So we need to create that story here as well.
We need to design that schema. Yep.
So another thing is, I missed the last the client meeting, but then for job seeker, is it only stricted to apply job online? Can he go in person, or how does it work? I mean, it's kind of like, for me, it's kind of vague. It's not clear.
So there are two ways maybe three ways to apply to a job.
Okay.
And the first one is you as a job seeker apply directly to a job that you found.
Okay.
The second one is a job developer will apply you to a job. So
Okay.
these two are online. And there's a third one that is the job fair one. That's a part that we're still not worrying about.
Okay.
But on the job fair, you'd be able to just go there, and eventually this will end up as a case, as a company person will apply you to his job. So we have this, basically I believe that we have these three scenarios of applying to jobs.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's it for me.
So we came up with, we need to build the job category skills table. What was the second item that you mentioned, Hugh, about 5 minutes ago? Another story we need? Can you hear me okay? Am I muted?
I think there's a prolonged delay on his
I'm
side,
the one
I
who
guess.
Talking to the mute?
Yes, I was. So, what did I say?
Can you remember what you said?
Okay, so we need a story for the ERD.
For the ERD
to create
design
the job application table. We need to create a story that is the follow-up story for the jobs, that is to associate a skill with a job.
Yep.
And we need to create a story that is association in the administration of the job category and the skill itself. And I think that was all.
Okay. So we need the job category skills table to be built, associate category to skills. We need to design the whole job application tracking structure, whatever that might mean.
I'm not sure if we are going to just a second. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure if we are going to. So I was starting to write a story to create just to change the ERD, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just create a more generic story. I need to create the model that connects job seekers with jobs. Something like this. I think it's better. And I'm not sure. Do you guys think is there anything else that we can do? Because we need to. I think the most important thing that we need to do next is the apply.
What do you mean by this story you just created? Connect. Are you talking about specifically an active record model design?
Yes.
But underneath that, it's got to reflect a database schema design for accommodating application and application tracking.
Yes, application tracking. What I was thinking, I created this story, and I was going to define here more or less the structure of the job application, because I try to go simple on this, at least for now.
Mm-hmm.
Like something very simple as the job seeker ID, the job ID, and eventually resume ID. I don't know if we want to go that. No, I'm not sure if we want to go that far. But for the so sorry. Yes.
Sorry, I broke your train of thought there.
No, just go.
So Chet has mentioned a couple of times that based upon requirements from people who donate, whatever, regulatory authorities, he's got to be able to report on job application, job placement activity, and maybe job applications, whether they've been resulting in a job seeker being hired or whatever. So I think job application tracking, including status tracking, is really important. I'm not sure how or what reports we're going to have to define for that, but I'm pretty sure he needs that kind of stuff.
Yes, I know, but I think at this moment we need to have, because I'm not sure when you read the MVP list that I made. I'm not sure if you got the same sensation that I did. That is, there is a bunch of things that are related with the job apply. A bunch of stories that you need to apply to a job in order to be able to move forward. So my idea was to first create a simple model, a very simple thing that allow you a job seeker to apply to a job developer, to a job, and then build on it, and not just start building everything like a big system with a bunch of with tracking and everything, because we're not yet 100% sure what we're going to track or how we are going to track here. That was my idea and how to start this, because afterwards we can create a story like every time that you apply for a job, instead of saving things in this table, we just save it in somewhere else, and we will create our reports from a file, for example, where we have like all the actions that happened in the application or something like that.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with bringing it piecemeal, definitely. I would argue when we get to the reporting, it really ought to be done out of database tables because there's so many free, high-powered, open source reporting tools we can exploit. We don't have to build reports. We can just say use Jasper. We can maybe exploit something like that. But anyway, that's not a discussion we need to have now by any means.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. And database, it's much easier to do queries and everything. I set a file as a thing where we can just write whatever, and then we just pick up whatever we need, and we don't need to have a structure or anything. That was just what I was saying, a file. But we will talk about that when we get nearer the date, because I believe for the MVP we'll have to have at least some minor reporting around, and we'll have to see how we will do it.
Yeah, so far we haven't had that discussion with Chet. What does he need for MVP reporting? I don't think he's thought about it, but
yeah, that's my thought as well. I think he doesn't really, he's not 100% sure what he needs.
yeah, he's got to see it first, I think, to really and play with it.
One of the things that I was thinking eventually is when I finish this story and merge it to dev, I was going to give a login to Chat and tell him just go look at this company user and see what you think of the page, so we can give us a feedback more on what we currently have built for the company homepage, and do the same thing for the job seeker, because the job seeker is already ready. And then when we have the company the agency part, we can also do the same thing.
I think that's a great idea. What I was pushing back before when Amy was bringing it up was she wanted him to actually start processing transactions in the system, which we're not ready for. But I think having him look at a prototype would be a great idea. Prototype view, sure.
Okay. Another thing that I eventually, if I have some time, I'm thinking on doing is moving the Heroku rancher into OpenShift and have a wheel there with everything, with the Mongo database and everything, so we don't have any problems like we had this weekend. But that's something that I'm planning, thinking about.
Are you talking about the problems we had where Mongoid was not available?
Yeah.
Wasn't that an MLab problem, not a Roku problem?
Yes, that was that was a problem with MLab, but the thing is, the wheels on OpenShift are available 24 hours a day, while the Roku apps, they have a lifetime of,
I think they have to
12 hours?
6 hours out of 24, something like that.
Something like that. So I wanted to move at least a cruncher there, so we can have the cruncher all the time up and see.
Well, Heroku when it's sleeping, it's in a deep sleep, as you know, so when you try to wake it up, it takes quite a while. Does the other guy not have that problem?
I don't think so. I think we can have the wheels are spinning all the time. So.
Well, that would be useful, yeah, because it takes forever for it to come alive when you first talk to it. Sure.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's another thing on my radar.
Yeah.
Eventually to move there.
You asked a question. So anyway, I'm going to create a story to associate job categories to skills in the admin dashboard. You've already got the associate job to job seeker story defined. I can also add a story to associate job to skills.
Okay.
So I can take care of that. You had a question about, was it people registration or company registration or something? What was it?
Yes, I do have.
People registration.
There was a change. I'm not sure where really. I think there's a problem with device. and I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to start looking at device code. But the problem is when we overrode the function called, what's it called? Agency, no, application controller. The function called after signing path 4. Apparently that has a side effect that was not on the website. And the side effect is that there's a function called after invite path 4 that for some reason is using that code.
Okay, I'm not entirely following you there.
Just open this. And go to the RSpec that failed.
Create company person without active.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So
Something
what
changed?
happened? Yes, something changed. And what did change? What changed was that in our application controller, we overrode a function that is called after signing path 4, and that function is used by device to redirect a user after they log in. Okay, so this is the functionality of this function. That's what it's called used for.
What's it called again? After, what's the method called?
After sign in path 4.
Is sign in one word or two words?
Sign underscore in. And by changing this function, now this other function that we are using in the RSpec test doesn't work. So this after invite path 4 calls after sign in path 4 to get the paths, which doesn't make any sense.
So you say we're overriding this method after sign in path 4?
Yes, we are overriding this method, and we are using this method to select the home page we are redirecting the user to when they log in. Okay.
I don't see where we're actually overriding that method anywhere.
Application controller.
Oh, an application. Still don't see it.
Eventually, you'll have to get the latest code. Just give me a second. Okay. So I'll share my screen. Okay. Yes. Oh, this function.
That's not in my. When was that?
It's in development. You need to pull the latest branch of development.
What was that? Oh, that's where you're redirecting fun login.
Yes. Here I'm redirecting the after the user logs in.
Yep.
It redirects to whatever page it should redirect.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently this function that failed, the after invite path 4, internally also calls this function. I don't know why, it doesn't make any sense, but apparently that's what it does.
Yeah.
The problem, is this a problem for us? No, because everything works correctly. But I had to change this specific spec to, instead of calling this function, just for now, just leave it the address there.
Well, right now we're doing a store location for a user on the person invite business. I don't see us overriding that particular function.
Yeah, we're not overriding this function, the after invite path for, but internally it's calling this one. I don't know why. It's calling that.
Okay. Well, mm-hmm.
What do you mean by calling that internally? So I don't know if I follow you guys. When you sign in, automatically device will direct you to routes. That's what it does, right?
Yes.
That's the default for device.
Yes. So, and to change that behavior,
Yeah.
you need to create this function here on your application controller. You need
Okay.
to create an after sign-in path for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
The problem is that apparently the device invitation calls also this function. Instead, not inside, but or inside, or in somewhere, in some place, on a function called after invite path for.
So ideally, what do we need? I mean, what do we need? I mean.
Okay, so what the thing is, everything works correctly.
Yeah.
Everything works correctly. The only problem is that this our spec, I had to change it, and we are not calling this function anymore.
Oh, okay.
Can you show me the code that this is it in the people invitations controller that you're talking about?
People invitation control. Do you want to see the spec or
the controller itself? I'm just trying to understand what's conflicting now with this addition to after sign-in path form.
I couldn't find anything, and I think this is internal. The problem. Let me show you where the problem is.
Okay.
The problem is in the controller spec. This is just a test issue. It's not an issue with anything
Got it.
else.
Yeah, well, that's good to know.
All the other tests are working, so I assume that this is just a question of the test itself. So you see, I had to change the render template from that call that we have in Semaphore to a direct string, and it works. Okay. Because this post is rendering device mailer invitation instructions, and it's not rendering the company people one code.
Okay.
So we'll have the same issue when we change this for the.
That's what line number is that? I'm sorry. What line number is that? It's
204.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I see what you're saying. I'm looking at the code that before you changed it. Well, that's too bad. We can't use the path for. But anyway, we have to hard code it. We have to hard code it.
The thing is, we can. I believe if we pick up that function, the after invite path for, and we override it on the application controller, we maybe be able to just filter out this behavior. But I didn't want to spend a lot of time digging why is this device invitation calling a function that is not supposed to call or something like that.
Well, when that test failed when you put that function in application controller. How did you figure out what was the cause of that test failing? Did you have to look at the source code and devise, or?
Oh no, I didn't look at it. I just looked at the output, and the test was working because we didn't have an invitation on job seekers. So if we don't have invitations on job seekers, this part of that will not apply.
Sure.
But this applies to company person, and that's what I was doing now. So that's why I saw the problem. And by looking at the expected value and the effective value, I assume that this function is calling the other only function that I changed that is device related.
Okay, and you said where else are we gonna have to change this for the agency invitation process as well?
Yes, yes.
How come that test didn't fail, or did it?
Because because if you see currently application control, I don't have the agency person yet because that's story
Oh,
from me.
yeah, of course, of
So,
course. Good question. Yep, got it. Okay.
so eventually it will
Bizarre.
fail as well. Yeah, it's bizarre, and I don't know why, but
That's disquieting, though. It shouldn't do that, but anyway. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at some of the device code, but well, for me, it's not really straightforward to walk through easily.
I didn't want to look through it because I know it's a huge chunk of code and it's very customizable, so it has a bunch of things around it. I didn't want to look into.
Yeah, it's a
So
beautiful thing. It has allowed us to put hooks in there for what we need to do,
yeah,
so it's great. Well designed for the most part.
yes, it is, but with this well design and the ability to do whatever you want, it's very difficult to follow the code around. I
It is
tried.
very. I
I
agree with
tried.
that.
I don't know. I think I made a gem for device. Yes, I think I made a gem for device for authentication for the OAuth. But I started looking into the code of device and I said, okay, let me just create what needs to be created for the OAuth, and I created a gem and just moved on because the code is very hard to follow.
Yep, I can attest to that too. Um, okay, good. So we'll have to fix that when it breaks again when we add agency person homepage. So good to know.
And I believe that's it. I don't have much more. Yes, I know. I'll just be finishing up the company person now. I think I don't have much more code left for me to do here.
Okay, I'll create those two stories we talked about. I'll also take the story to upload the resume.
Uh huh.
Um, and because it would be good if we can start testing out the cruncher
Yes.
functionality. I do have actually some resumes I downloaded from the internet, example resumes. If we want to start seeing how the cruncher does against those, but
Yeah, it's not gonna do very well uh, because it doesn't have configuration at all. So we need to look into that. That's one of the stories that we have there that we need to look because we need to be able to change the configuration of the cruncher and what we assume as specific words that mean something, and that's it. So currently it doesn't
so
have much.
so we have to have configuration and give a rating to various words of high or low importance, that type of thing. Or
Currently it's not that sophisticated. The only thing that it does, it's just it. This is a word counting thing, and
yep,
that's it.
yeah. This is the
Uh,
frequency of words.
yeah. So, and the other add-on that it has is that it can merge words into one. Like, I don't know. Like what? Like imagine that you have, um, I don't know.
Software space developer becomes software developer, one word.
Yes, for example, and it merges with the software engineer. You can add the software engineer into also software developer and everything. So it allows you to create a set of words or a set of phrases that you think are related and it can count as one. So
Okay. It also drops nuisance words like and the and stuff like that, right?
yes, yeah.
Um, I mean, not to expand this too much, but is there a bolt-on Bayesian model type thing that you could run things through
Sorry.
to get a Bayesian model? I think that's how you Bayesian. So most spam filters use Bayesian model to filter out spam, so they discover what kind of words and what approximate location to each other, etc., comprise spam. And that's how spam filters tend to learn to get better and better at filtering spam. The guy who invented the thing was Bayes, that was his name, so it's called the Bayesian model. A lot of these kind of textual analysis stuff occurs against Bayesian models as a baseline. That's more sophisticated, of course.
It's not the learning. At this point, it's not the learning engine. I'd love to make it a learning agent, but I don't have the time for it.
Well, its Bayesian model is pretty mechanical, but part of the Bayesian model is it can indicate whether it thinks something is spam or not. Let's say that, and then you can tell it when you go in your email client. You say this is not spam or this is spam. Behind the scenes, if they have a Bayesian model, it learns from that. It can do a better job of filtering spam based upon what you say is or is not spam. It's not AI or machine learning by any means. It just keeps track of how you rated its selection of spam or not. There may be some stuff that would be readily usable without a lot of work, but I think at this point we got enough to worry about. We can keep it simple.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well in the beginning. I also thought in something like now that we are going to have the skills back, we might not need to be comparing a lot of things if we can just have the skills. For example,
keywords on skills.
What we can do, and that was something that I was thinking, is let's imagine this application, the Cruncher, when you upload a resume, it will set a bunch of words as the most important words, and they are associated with skills. So it will send you back into the Rails app the skills that specific resume have. And then as a case manager, you could add more skills into that resume, saying, "Oh no, this is this. It has this skill and that skill and the other skill." And then instead of comparing the words, because currently it's a very dummy process that compares the most common word with the most common word of the resume and the job. So at this moment it's this simple. And what I wanted to do is, when this skill, if we have the skills that are in a job and the skills that are in a resume, it's much easier to match things up because we'll remove all the clutter and everything. But that was something else that I wanted to think about afterwards, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if we needed to, we could also expand what it means for a job seeker to register, which could include a list of skill categories. They can expand and select skills within a category. They could even say how many years of experience per skill that they select. We could be very directive rather than parse the resume to tease out the skills. We could have the job seeker tell us specifically their chief skills. But if we don't have to do that and we get it all from the resume, that's great. If not, we can go there.
Yeah. That was something that I was thinking of, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's multiple ways we can solve it.
Let's see with this is going to be very dumb, and it's going to be to give very stupid answers in the beginning, and if we think they are very, very stupid and that we need to do something about it, then we can try to look into other ways of implementing this. But at this point, we have so many things to do in the app side that I prefer to focus my time that I have now on the app to try to move it forward than to use it on the Cruncher itself.
Oh yeah, no, this is all probably post MVP or almost everything we're talking about, except for minimal Cruncher word count matching. And like you said, it may look pretty stupid initially, but you can tell Chet is going to get smarter. But this will work for now, or this will have to do for now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Joe, are you saying? Are you thinking, or are you moving it to what is this? The open shaft from Haruku to open shaft? Is it you thinking about it, or are you going to move it to open shaft?
I am thinking about it, and if I look at the board, I don't see anything else that I can do or that I'm willing to do. I will start to look into this and create an account on OpenShift.
Okay.
With our email from MetPlus and add the things there, add the cruncher there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, another thing that I did was I moved I created an account also on Pusher.
Mm-hmm.
And added that account into Heroku instead of using the one that you set up, Patrick.
Yeah.
And I added you as a collaborator as well, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Should we shift our development environment to use that account then?
I don't think so. Or maybe we can. My idea was to have like the staging server with its own things, you know. So we don't have like if you're in the staging server and you do the test locally, you run Cucumber, you will start getting all the notifications around of this and that, and there's nothing on the system.
Well, I was thinking that could be a drawback certainly, but I tell you, Friday it was really nice to be able to run tests locally on my machine in Cucumber and point to that cloud-based instance of our application where the notifications popped up. It would have been very hard to do that if I didn't have the ability to share one account across the environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
So run an acceptance test locally and having Chet watch what happens on the local server was an advantage very much there. And we kind of lose that with this instruction.
But do you think you really need that from now on?
That's a nice to have. I think to create a pop-up on Heroku right now, I'd have to go in and have to manually create a new job seeker, hit the submit, and have another let's say a Firefox open as well as an admin and say, watch the pop-up occur on that other browser in my menu. As opposed to running acceptance tests.
We can use that as something very that we do it like once if we need to show something to chat, but as a rule, I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
Well, the beauty of it is Chet can log in during our client meeting. He can actually log into our Heroku-based server, and I could say, now watch this, or we could say, now watch this, and we run Cucumber tests locally.
Yeah.
And then
what I'm saying is that as a rule, I don't think that's a good thing. But as an exception, and then we can do it like if we want to show him something on his computer or something. I think we can do it like we shift the keys and everything into there and just pop it up.
Yeah, it's awkward to shift the keys in and out, but we certainly can do that. I mean, push comes to shove, we just demo on our own individual laptops if we need to do something fancy like that. Sorry, Slim.
Oh. Okay, guys. I gotta go. And can I leave it like this, or since I'm the one who created, does it affect you guys if I just leave?
I don't know. I don't have much more to talk about it, but I think you can leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We can continue, but I think we're.
You guys okay? Okay. All right.
Up anyway, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you for coming out, guys. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Liam.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good discussion.
Yeah, I don't have any problem. I can share the you have access to them, right? To the API keys and everything.
Yeah, I do, and I have access to the Pusher instance as well, that Pusher app, Pets Dev.
Okay.
So, well, I liked being able to demo like we did Friday. That was really nice, as opposed to have everything coming from my sole laptop, which doesn't look very powerful. And I'm not even sure Chet got the fact that I was doing something on my computer that caused a cloud-based server to pop up notifications on a browser attached to that server. But it was a nice thing to be able to do. It's not a big deal. We can definitely do without that or work around it. The only thing I thought of, well, if we change our dev credentials to this new Pets Dev instance of Pusher, we can continue to do that type of thing.
Okay. Eventually remember the password that I used.
Maybe at some point we actually walk through some of the acceptance tests with Chet. I know they're supposed to be user visible, client visible, but I'm not sure they're all that useful for that, at least not at this stage.
Oh, okay. I didn't confirm my account. It's very annoying because the MetPlus as a non-profit do not have access to inbox, and you get redirected there always to the inbox now. So
The inbox? What's the inbox?
From Gmail.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you have that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, when you try to log in using your credentials into inbox, it fails if you use the MetPlus ones, because it's a non-profit and they do not allow non-profits to have access to inbox. So I need to have a separate browser to access Gmail directly, because if you try to access Gmail, it redirects you directly to inbox unless you log in with that specific account. It's pretty strange.
That I didn't know that. Interesting. I didn't know they cared about the nonprofit or not status of anybody using their Gmail account. But
yeah, apparently it's strange.
All right.
Okay. So I'll just try to finish this up and see. I think I'll
Are you going to continue to use MLab if you go to OpenShift?
I don't see why I should keep on using it, because if we can, I'll have, I think, locally, I have my account set up there, so I'll just use it while I'm testing locally. I'll be using MLab.
Got it. Okay.
The biggest advantage there is that you have a UI that you can just go in and do things, while if you're inside a shift, you need to go to the shift, and then I think you'll have to do everything manually there because we do not have a UI. But I also can create the shift and point it to the MLab, so there's not a real issue there.
Great, good.
But I'll see. I'll have to see if they, especially if they have things already built. The wheels are already built for Java and Mongo. I think it would be a pretty simple task to change it there, but I don't know. I still haven't searched it. So.
Yep. Oh well, good.
Okay.
I think now that we've mocked the Cruncher services for testing, anyway, it's bearable, the test time. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we'll connect up again at 5:15.